his hole in the blood and the mud. Stiklestad drinks of the royal blood. A brother is fallen, the kingdom is lost. The winter of exile demands a high cost. Flee to the east where the endless snows freeze, to the courts of the Rus and the Kievan trees. The wolf of the north leaves his frozen nest, with no crown on his head but a fire in his chest. Through rivers of ice and the shadows of pine, he swears to the gods, all the world shall be mine. To Miklagard's walls, to the city of gold, where the Mediterranean seawater rolls. Commander of axes, the guard of the throne, in the heart of the empire he's fighting alone. The burner of Bulgars, the Saracens' bane, washing the shores in a crimson red rain. From Sicily's heat to Jerusalem's gate, he carries the storm, he delivers the fate. He blinds the old emperor, plunders the horde, and buys back his destiny, paid with the sword. I will not die as a sword for hire. I am the spark that ignites the great fire. From the ice of the fjord to the heat of the sand, I offer the blade, I conquer the land. Hardrada, the thunder, the ruthless and bold, a river of silver, a mountain of gold, the Varangian master, the emperor's shield, who never retreated and never would yield. The world is a forge and the anvil is set, the greatest of kings that the north has seen yet. The dragon returns to the cold of the sea. He crushes his nephew, forcing the knee. For 15 long summers the Danish will bleed, but Swain of the Danes is a stubborn old weed. He burns down their cities, he shatters their fleets, leaving them starving and dead in the streets. He rules with an iron and merciless hand, the absolute lord of a frozen wasteland. Look to the sky, the star with a tail, the omen of blood, the omen of whale. Tostig the Saxon arrives at the shore, begging the giant to open the door. The English are weak, the throne is unclaimed. Let the banner of Harold be finally named. 300 long ships are riding the wave to conquer the island or find a cold grave. The banner is hoisted, the land waste the flies, a raven of silk under darkening skies. At Fulford the Saxons are broken and crushed, the rivers are choked and the valleys are hushed. The victory is absolute, total and sweet. The island of England is brought to his feet. The sun is so warm on the Yorkshire plain. Leave the heavy chainmail, we need not the strain. We march to the bridge just to gather the gold. We march to a slaughter unexpected and with the massive Dane axe, holding the tide of the Saxon attacks. 40 go down to the swing of his blade. A mountain of corpses the warrior made, but a spear from below through the planks of the wood ends the great stand where the champion stood. The bridge has been breached, the shield wall is formed, the vanguard of Harold is violently stormed. He steps from the line, he goes into the rage, the final great charge of the Viking age. He cuts through the Saxons, refusing to bow, but an arrow of iron has found him right now. give to the King of the North 7 feet of ground as I step to go for a little bit more for the giant to sleep. My banner is falling, the shadows are deep. It strikes at the throat and the thunder must die. The greatest of warriors falls from the sky. Hardrada, the thunder, the ruthless and bold, a river of silver, a mountain of gold, a Varangian master, the emperor's shield, who never retreated and never would yield. The banner is fallen, the raven is dead, the river of Derwent is running with red. Of 300 ships that had sailed from the shore, only 20 return from the theater of war. The age of the Viking is drawn to a close under the dirt, where the English grass grows.